We may know that the brain is wired like electricity. It has a natural chemical which is known as dopamine. Then this dopamine has a very special or has special functions because it is the one that makes us to move, it makes us to walk, to talk, to think, and so on and so forth. But in the case where these drugs are introduced in the system, you discover that it will imitate this particular substance, chemical. Then it takes over with time. That is why you discover that when somebody is into this drug, despite the health challenges or problems the person is facing, you discover he will keep on using such substances. To an extent, addiction sets in. And what is addiction? Now we call it dependence. I just mentioned this addiction so that you understand what I'm trying to express. Dependence is a chronic relapsing disease that has compulsion on the user to use these drugs. So, as a student, if you get into this, definitely what we have said, it will manifest no matter what your metabolism is all about. Because drugs are different kind of chemicals that you and I may not know the composition.
I want to assure you that Kaduna Polytechnic has zero tolerance to drug. Zero tolerance. The Dean Student Affairs can always tell you. In fact, people who take drugs around Kaduna Polytechnic, who are not even students, they have been arrested severally by the Dean Student Affairs. They have collaboration with the Nigerian police, with the NDLEA here. They have a lot of collaboration. And many times they arrest them and take them to the police station. So we have zero tolerance to drugs. Not only that we have zero tolerance. We have measures that were put in place. Just like what the last speaker said, the doctor from Federal University Hospital. Before, when you have problem in school, maybe you have carryover and you are dismissed or you are withdrawn. Now the management have imbibed a new idea. Instead of sending them away, because the most important thing is taking them off the street. So instead of sending them away, we say repeat. 1, repeat. 2. Just because we don't want you to be out there. So we have that program here. We don't want students to be out there. Instead of you to be out there, it's better you are here so that we can continue to train you and watch what you do. Another thing we do is, whenever we have matriculation, whenever we have orientation, papers are always presented on this kind of issue. I myself have presented a series of papers on issues of drugs, on issue of cultism and all of that. So we look into that very seriously, and the Dean of Student Affairs doesn't take things like this for a ride. They are working on all these things and to reduce it to the barest minimum. But what the last speaker said on the issue of checking this GP, that the moment you see somebody's GP reducing, it is worth noting. In fact, I will take this back to the rector so that whenever we are doing result presentation, any student that we saw that had 3.5 in the first semester, now having 2.1, then something is wrong. That student should be taken to counseling, guardians and counseling unit to be able to interview the students so that we know what is the problem. The kind of person you relate with invariably will tell the kind of attitude that you have. So please, let's choose our friends wisely. Don't just say because somebody he came from a rich home, then you want to relate to that person without knowing the kind of person he is. By the time you get involved in this thing, you will not know.
It's so unfortunate that the ASUU is still on strike, even though the Polytechnic constituency, which I primarily represent, is on the campuses. But time to time, we also partner with the university associations to lend our voices in calling on the relevant authorities and bodies, as well as the government, to put heads together and ensure that our students come back to campuses. Because like what we discussed today, the inaugural lecture, which is curbing illicit drugs in our campuses, strike like this are one of the issues whereby when students are idle, they are at home, they don't have anything doing, they will have this temptation of going into things out of frustration. So I'm also using this medium to call on the federal government and everyone they ask you to put heads together and ensure that our students, our brothers who are in the universities, they return back to campuses as quickly as possible.
Just like all the speakers as the presented before have said, drug abuse is a destruction of human life. The moment you get involved in drug abuse, then you don't have future any longer. Because it is the drug now that will propel your future, not the plan that you initially have for yourself. So I will advise all students to desist from drug abuse. If you have a friend who is involved in that, you need to call the authority to let them know that this is what he's doing, so that you will not lure others into doing the same thing. Your future is important, the future of the nation is important, and the future of Nigeria depends on the youth. If the youth are destroyed at early age, then it becomes difficult for Nigeria to attain all its developmental goals. And this is my message to all the youths, that disease from drug will not take you anywhere.
Definitely, drug abuse is a cankerworm that is eating deep in the fabrics of not only the user alone, but the society in general. Because a lot of things, let me go a little further. You know, cases that are happening in Mexico, students are being taken, killed. Here in Nigeria is of no difference, because drugs ravage the lives of the youths. And who are the youths? Most especially the students in secondary schools and tertiary institutions. So drug has caused a lot of havoc, because we engage those who are having substance use disorder, and we know the kind of problem they face, especially that downturn of educational setting in their life, as well as causing a lot of violence to the immediate family as well as the society. So the nation is really grappling with this issue of drug dependence, and also you can even note that those who are taken into captivity by kidnappers, they usually even demand for drugs. So that means this issue has gone so far that if all and sundry will not come up to have a collective responsibility in terms of stamping out this drug menace in our society, definitely our streets will never be safe for anyone to walk freely in Nigeria.